Hey, Adam Hooksma here from ProjectionHub. So I spent 12 years as an SBA lender and closed over 1,500 SBA loans during my time as executive director of an organization called Bankable. Now today I'm kind of on the other side of the table helping small business owners create financial projections and business plans and help them prepare to get an SBA loan or raise capital from investors. And today I'm going to walk you through a financial projection template that we built specifically for adult daycare facilities and really kind of show you how the template works, really step by step, how you can fill it out and get it ready to present to potential investors and lenders. I'll put a link in the description of the video below to this template so you can grab that and follow along. And if you stick around to the very end of the video, I'll give you access to a coupon code as a thank you to you for sticking around to the very end. And so with that, let's go ahead and dive into how this template works. All right, so I'm going to start here on the At a Glance tab. And this is kind of the end of the process. So after we have filled out all of our assumptions, this is what you're going to get: a profit and loss at a glance, some key ratios, some graphs and charts that could be helpful to pull into a presentation or a business plan. You've got a 5-year income statement summary, a 5-year cash flow summary, 5-year balance sheet, and then the income statement, cash flow, and balance sheet all broken down by month for each of the 5 years. Now, in order to produce all of those reports, we have a little bit of work to do. And so I'm going to walk you through our blue input tabs here and kind of just show you how to fill it out step by step. Okay, so you can set a projection start month here. I'm going to assume this is for a startup facility, okay? So our opening cash balance is 0 because we haven't started yet. We're going to assume that we're going to put in some personal investment of $25,000 here, invested in month 1. Now you can add additional investors here as well. On the accounts payable side, this means we're going to pay 80% of our bills in the month that the expense is incurred and 20% on a 1-month delay. And so the idea here is that maybe some of your expenses you put on a credit card and you have a month to pay them. So you actually incur the expense in the month that you swipe your credit card, right? But then you don't actually have to pay, so the cash doesn't come out of your checking account until maybe a month later because you're paying the credit card later, right? Now on the accounts receivable side, again, we're going to assume that we're a brand new startup, and so we have no accounts receivable balance here, 0, but we have the ability to set the number of days that we think it will take to collect payment. And so this really depends on whether your mix of clients is private pay, insurance, or Medicare, Medicaid type of customers where the government is the payer, and it may take longer to get paid, right? And so you want to put the number of days you expect to get paid. It could be a mix. So like, let's say you have some clients that pay ahead of time for the month, or they pay the day that the adult is dropped off at the facility, they pay for the full day right away. So it could be some of those patients mixed with some patients that maybe you're billing insurance or billing the state or the government. Those may take longer. Inventory, we're going to set inventory to 0 here, and we're also going to set this average inventory percent at 0. You're not really selling a product, and so setting inventory to 0, you're really selling a service. So we don't really need to utilize this unless you're selling some products above and beyond. We left it in here just in case. My expectation is that most facilities are not really selling product per se, so we have no inventory here. Fixed asset. So here, let's say you're going to rent a space, and so you're going to have to make some improvements to the space. You're going to pay $40,000 for that. We'll set the salvage cost to 0 for all of these. So basically that just means that over the useful life of the asset, so in this case let's say these leasehold improvements last for 10 years, we're going to depreciate that $40,000 over that 10-year period. Maybe the furniture and fixtures will last 15 years, so we'll depreciate this $15,000 of furniture and fixtures over that time period, right? And we set the purchase month for all of these to month 1, kind of at the beginning of the startup, okay? We are going to assume we're going to get an SBA loan as well. So maybe get an SBA loan for $100,000. It's going to help cover these startup costs, but also maybe provide some additional working capital. We've got that at a 10% interest rate and a 120-month term or a 10-year term. All right, so let's look at how the revenue model works. So what we did here is we kind of assumed that you'll have some client capacity limit for the facility. So you can set an assumption client capacity. So we're saying this is a 30-person capacity facility. And we put in kind of 3 different ways or categories that you can think about the care that you're providing. So it could be hourly, daily, or monthly. So you may have a mix of different customers, some that may just drop off for hours for the day, right? I mean, it could be drop-in type of customers, or maybe just for the full day, but just 1 day at a time. Or you may have some that it's a regular schedule. Every month they're coming 5 days a week or 7 days a week or whatever that might might be. So we've got those categories. And then we have our kind of adult to staff ratio here, customer or patient to staff ratio. So we're saying that, and this could be different potentially based on regulation. Where you're located, you may have some regulation, for example, like in a daycare, child daycare, very specific regulations about staff to child ratios for different age groups. So you may have something like that, or you may have some sort of internal metric that you follow. That's what you want to put in here, because we're going to be able to determine what our staff requirements are based on this ratio. So we're saying 1 staff for 5 adults is what we've got for all of these. You could have different ratios for different categories. And then we have the average number of hours per week per adult. So we're saying the patients or the adults that are in the hourly care category, we're saying on average they're going to come 12 hours a week. And then the daily care 25 hours, and then the monthly care 40 hours a week. So it's kind of full time, right? So then we can add different care types. So we've got basic care, daily living activities, starting that in month 1, ending in month 60. It's a 60-month model, so that just means we're going to provide this service throughout the full 5-year model. And then from the drop down, we select, and this is a daily care type. And because of that, because we selected daily care, what it's going to do is only show you the daily rate. So you only need to enter in the daily rate if you selected daily care. If you selected hourly care, you enter in the hourly rate, right? And then you may have a cost of supplies and meals per adult per month for these different categories, right? So maybe for the monthly rate, because remember the monthly care, these adults are going to be there 40 hours a week all month. And so maybe the cost of supplies here is higher because they're utilizing the service more. They're going to be there for more meals, basically. And then finally over here, what you can do is break down the percentage of clients that fall into each category. So we're saying 50% of our clients here are in this kind of basic care, daily living activities, and in the daily care category, and they're paying $100 a day. All right, so you're able to kind of split that up, and maybe you have 10% of the customers are on that monthly care, maybe getting specialized services that need kind of attention all the time. And so it could be, for example, this might be a situation where you'd say, hey, the max adults per 1 staff for the monthly care, because it's more intensive, maybe it's like 1 to 3, for example, right? You could have a 1 to 3 ratio. So you can change that. You can set kind of an annual inflation rate and an annual cost rate. So a price and a cost inflation rate here. And then you can set your percent capacity filled. So again, remember our capacity is 30, and we set our capacity filled here. We can set a maximum capacity. So if you wanted to say we're going to start at 80 here, it's going to grow by 3% annually, but once it gets up to 90%, then it would kind of level out at that. So you can see over here, once we hit 90%, it just kind of stays flat at 90% at that capacity, because maybe it's hard to ever get a 100% capacity, and so we want to kind of keep that in mind. All right, so here what we're saying is that 70% of the customers are private pay, and the remaining 30% are government pay. All right, so we can kind of split that out. The main thing that we're doing here is just giving you the ability to kind of see the mix on the income statement. So if you wanted to see, a funder wanted to see what percentage is private pay, what percentage is government pay, that's what to see by entering in those assumptions. So most of this is just calculations now. We do get down here to the staff cost section. So the way this is going to work is it's going to look at how many patients you have in each different category, and it's going to equation here, and it's looking at these assumptions and the adult to staff ratios here, and then determining how many staff are going to be required based on that. So it will automatically tell you, okay, you're going to need 3 staff to cover the basic care services that you're providing, and so on. And then you can set the number of operating hours per week that you're going to be open, the average caregiver hourly pay, and then if you want to set an annual wage increase, and that will give you your caregiver wage expense here. That's really it on this kind of revenue and cost of goods sold tab. This is probably the most complicated section of this. If you have a need to customize this for your unique situation, or just need help thinking through it or filling it out, we do offer a service where we'll help customize and fill out a model for you. So you can reach out to us at support@ProjectionHub.com. We'd be happy to help you do that. And we have a pretty quick turnaround, usually 2 to 3 business days to be able to get that done for you. So if that's of interest to you, feel free to reach out. Okay, let's take a look at our operating expense tab here. So we have the ability to add different operating expenses, and you can actually set up to 10 different expense categories up here, and then put in the individual expenses. Now you can insert a whole bunch. So if you wanted to have like 50 different expense line items. It's as simple as just highlighting a section here of rows, right-clicking, clicking insert, and you can just keep adding additional rows. Then you'll just make sure that you categorize them. You select one of the categories for each expense. From there, you can set whether that expense is a fixed dollar amount, a percentage of revenue, or a per employee expense. So for example, for advertising, let's say we're going to spend $500 a month on advertising. Maybe rent is $4,000 a month, insurance $800. Now, let's say you're collecting some of your payment, the private pay, with credit or debit card, and you're going to have a credit card processing fee. That would be a percentage of revenue. And so we can select percentage of revenue here and then set that as a percentage of 0.02 would be 2%. 2% of total revenue would be credit card processing fees in this example. Now, sometimes your credit card processing fees might be 3%, for example, but you need to remember in this scenario, we said 70% is private pay and 30% is government pay. And so we don't want to put the full 3% credit card fee because we know only 70% of our customers are actually private paying and might pay with a credit card. The other percentage there, that other 30% of customers are paying government funded. They're not going to pay with a credit card, and so we wouldn't have that credit card processing fee. So hopefully that makes some sense, but you want to think about that as you're filling this out. Okay, the last input tab here is salary position. So you can set different salary positions. We already have the caregiver expense, but if you also had maybe an administrator or director or maybe admin staff or front desk staff that aren't providing direct kind of patient or customer care, this is where you might want to put those positions in. You can set an annual salary, employer taxes, benefits, what month they're going to start. So if you said, well, we're not going to hire the front desk person for 6 months, you could change this to say, okay, they're going to start in 6 months, month they're ending, and actually the number of the employees. So if you said we're going to have 2 different front desk folks, we could do it like that, and then you can set an annual raise. And that's really it. That brings us back to where we ended the process here, and you've got a number of graphs and charts here and now that you can utilize in your fundraising process. So hope that's been helpful. If you did find the video helpful, love it if you like the video, leave us a comment, subscribe to our channel. We're going to be producing a lot of content related to getting an SBA loan, trying to raise capital for your business. And so we'd love for you to follow along with us as we do that. And by liking and subscribing, that helps the algorithm know that we're producing good content and helpful content. So I'd love if you would do that. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to us at support@ProjectionHub.com. Then lastly, thank you for sticking around to the very end of the video. As our thank you to you, I mentioned I'd give you a coupon code. So if you go down to the description of the video below, you'll see a link to a form. If you fill out that form, we're going to email you our most up-to-date coupon code so you take a discount when you purchase this template as our thank you to you. All right, I hope that's been helpful. Thanks.